I'd like to open an account, please.
Oh, are you saving for something?
Yep, my money's gonna save the world. We're gonna turn wind into energy! And even make it possible for the sun to power stuff. We're making farms more efficient. And turning gas into electric. No exhaust pipes, see?
We're doing all that.
We sure are.
Kwekwe, greetings. My name is Simon Brascoupe. I'm an Algonquin artist from Giddy, Ganzibi, Anishinaabe. And today is paint night. And we're going to do a Canada Goose. I'm calling it a golden Canada Goose because we're going to use a beautiful orange color. And we're going to go from the very start to the end in the next half hour. So first of all, you may want to prep the canvas by putting a layer of paint on it. What I did already was I used white paint with a tiny bit of yellow. You could easily put too much yellow in there, so just like a little, literally a dot of yellow, and then you put it all through the background of your canvas. And what that does is it gets away from the stark whiteness of the canvas. So in your kit, you would have received a sketch of a Canada Goose. And what you can do, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can draw it on very carefully with a pencil, a hard pencil if you have one, or any pencil for that matter, and just sketch it out on the canvas. Just a light outline of your beautiful Canada Goose. Before we start painting it, I want to talk a little bit about what the Canada Goose means to Canadians, but also to First Nations people. First of all, it's a major source of food. When I'm taping this right now, it's goose break for the Cree up in northern Quebec. So everybody goes on the land and hunts moose or goose, and then the whole family feasts on the geese that they hunt. The geese migrate every year. Here in Ottawa, they migrate in the fall, and they're migrating north in the spring. And my family and myself look forward to hearing the geese flying, sometimes at night or during the day. You can hear their loud call, and you're looking for that iconic V shape that they're in. So I told my children how the geese originally formed the V, and it goes back to an old story, one of these Nanabush stories that you may have heard. And anyway, so Nanabush loves geese. He loves to eat geese. So he decides, because he's greedy, that he's going to eat a whole bunch of them. So he dives under the water. The geese are floating on the water where they're safe, and Nanabush ties a rope or a string around their feet. And the geese are going, can you feel anything on your feet? And I go, yeah. And they kind of guessed it might have been Nanabush up to his old tricks. So they decided to teach him a lesson. They all flew up. I don't know if you've ever seen a goose fly from the water up into the air, but they have to beat their feet on the water to get enough speed, and their wings are flapping and there's water flying all over the place. Anyway, so the geese get up, and Nanabush is holding on to his rope, and the geese start forming a V because of the rope, and Nanabush is hanging onto this rope, but he's not a very good knot maker, so the knots start slipping, and each of the geese gets free, and eventually the last knot breaks loose, and Nanabush falls to the ground, and he's disappointed that he has no geese because he was greedy, and his tricks don't always work. Anyways, so back to our golden Canada Goose. So I've sketched it out. I sketched it all out, and I'm going to use yellow acrylic paint, which you will have received in your kit, or if you're doing it at home, you went out and purchased it. So there's yellow and a tiny bit of red. Not a lot. It's like I told you with the I always put too much. So see, I've already put too much in there. So I'm going to mix the paint like that, so you can see it almost looks too. No, it's coming out. Looks good. So you can see the nice gold color that we have for a gold Canada Goose. So just go along the lines that you sketched on. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to replicate the geese's feathers by painting it like that. So more feathers. See how easy it's going on. So you can see it kind of looks like feathers. Paint its head. Canada geese are absolutely beautiful. And people who study geese say that geese mate for a lifetime, and one goose can tell the difference in the voice of another goose. So that's kind of interesting. So over the years, I've walked here in Ottawa and I've heard the geese coming through. And you can hear the different voices. You know, some of them are squawky. Some of them have a gentle voice, beautiful voice. So like humans, they all sound a little bit different. So I'm going back to this, try to replicate the feathers of the geese. I guess what fascinates everybody is you see these beautiful V shapes. I don't think there's another bird that flies in this characteristic V shape. But First Nations and Algonquin elders all tell us that the geese are teaching us to cooperate with each other, that we need to collaborate on the things that we do. We need to work as families. So this V shape is really really important teaching. So it teaches about the importance of not just cooperation and collaboration with each other, but it also teaches us about the importance of family. There's a very famous artist, Benjamin Chichi, that lived here in Ottawa at one time, and the geese were a theme that he did all his life, and he would do a mother goose and a smaller baby goose in these beautiful prints that he did. So we're almost done. So the background, of course, in your instructions, I recommend that you do it the day before. And today we're painting the goose, but what I would like you to do is let it dry. It might take an hour to dry, or you could let it dry overnight, and then when it's dried, we're going to paint the rest of the goose. Okay, so the golden paint has dried on our goose, and now we're going to put some designs on it. And in your kit or online, you'll be able to see some geese that other people did in this type of workshop to kind of inspire you. Express yourself. You could paint flowers on it. I'm going to use geometric designs. So I'm going to use a little bit of blue and green and some red. Okay. So in your kit, you may have primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. You may not have other colors, but you may want to mix them. You can mix them. So if you mix yellow and red, you get orange. If you mix blue and red, you get purple. And yellow and blue, you get green. So anyways, so you can mix your own colors. That'll be kind of exciting. So I'm going to paint like a little necklace on the goose. Well, green's an interesting color because there you go. Green's an interesting color because in the 1800s, over 100 years ago, people considered green as a primary color. They hadn't developed the color theory of red, yellow, blue yet. But it was a color that people liked. Blue is an interesting color because blue was very expensive at one time because the material, you grind up a blue rock and mix it in with oil to make your blue color, your blue paint. And so blue was a very expensive and very rare color that you would see in old paintings. Of course, today we're lucky blue is prevalent. All these colors are prevalent because they're now made from chemicals and not from organic material or rocks. So, okay, so we got the green there. Get another brush. I'm going to put some red on it. So you can see this beautiful red color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some red circles on the goose. There's one. So I try to create a flowing pattern with these dots. So I'm going like this. So you can see the pattern that I've created. So I'm going to create another pattern going down this way. So these patterns you'll find in nature. Whenever I'm out walking, I look at leaves that are on the ground, and you see this beautiful pattern. Or you're looking at water, you see the water's the way it's flows, or you throw a rock at it and it gets these beautiful concentric circles patterns. So nature is a really good teacher for artists. And I think artists do art to celebrate nature, honor nature, and when you're doing your artwork, you're kind of thinking about it. You're kind of thinking about the subject that you're painting. In this case, we got this beautiful Canada goose. I'm going to put one more dot here. So you can see that there's a pattern going through here, like that. That kind of a pattern. And even the goose itself is kind of a V shape. I'm going to paint the beak. I might paint it, I'm going to paint it blue. Get a little bit of water. This is a beautiful blue. You can actually see in this blue, even though it's blue, there's a lot of green in it. Check it out. I might put it, I usually don't put eyes. I'm not going to put an eye in it. So I could put some more dots out in here if I want, or some bands. I'm going to put another band over here, a blue one. Okay, so we got the blue in there. I might put some more dots. I don't know. I might overdo it. Decision time. So I'm trying to visualize what it would look like in my mind's eye when I look at it. So if I do blue, is that blue going to overpower the red? Or do I put another color in there? Or I might even repeat the orange color, or leave it. No, it needs something in here. I'm going to go with the blue dots, smaller blue dots. But you'll see in your kit, there's a lot of variations in there. Sometimes I'll paint a almost like a plant coming from there, and these beautiful curved lines. I'll do some curved lines here. For its tail. So we see these beautiful curved lines in nature everywhere. It's spring now, and if you look at the plants, they're kind of popping up out of the ground, and a lot of them are like, if you know ferns, they're kind of in a spiral shape, and it's a very powerful symbol. It represents wisdom as it pops out of the ground. Okay, so I think that's enough for our golden Canada goose. This one needs an eye. I'm going to put an eye there. So there you go. Good luck with yours. You're probably well on your way of finishing it. You can post your final results on the website. You'll see the instructions on the website where to post it. If you send me your name, if you're interested in this one, of course I'll sign it in a minute, but what I'll do is, if you send it, say, I'm interested in the Canada Goose that you did for Paint Night, what I'll do is we'll do a draw, and if your name comes up, I'll mail it to you. So I'll if you have your email address, I'll email you and say, hey, you won the Canada Goose, and I'm going to mail it to you. So good luck with your painting. Art is a wonderful way to think about life, to enjoy life, to think about nature, to connect with nature. And a lot of Indigenous artists honor and respect nature through their artwork, and enjoy the rest of the evening through your painting. And don't forget to finish it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Miigwech.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the painting workshop, Paint Night, the Canada Goose. I'm excited to see your artwork. You can post it. Last year we did one on the Canada, or the Algonquin Goose, and everybody produced a beautiful artwork. So I'm looking forward to seeing yours. There's some questions that I can respond to. So the first one is, how did you get involved in art? And for me, I grew up being an artist from a very young age. I love to draw. I drew on anything I could when I was young. And I really felt that part of my spirit was an artist's spirit. So as I grew up and got older, all I did was I produced art all my life. In my 20s, like all of you, I was busy starting a family, trying to make money and to feed my family. So I was pulling away a little bit from art. But then I decided one day, if I could eat every day, I could produce art every day, and that was the approach that I took. So if you have that art spirit, don't give up. Do something every day, and then share your art with friends, like we're doing this evening, and enjoy it. So the other question that I got was, why did I use gold? And it's a bit of a I got a little cheeky, like the golden goose, but also I wanted you to learn how to mix paint. And so the way we mixed the paint is we mixed a little bit of white, yellow, and and a tiny bit of orange in it, or a little tiny bit of red, and you get a gold. And I was surprised. A friend of mine was mixing paint, and they mixed gold, which I couldn't believe you could do by just using these colors. So you've learned how to mix gold, and you were successful. So you're learning how to mix paints. Now, so the other question I got was how, why is art important, and why is it important to connect with one another? I think artists over the years, and our ancestral artists, if you go around the Ottawa area in Anishinaabe or Algonquin territory, you'll see art painted on rocks throughout the region. And to me, these paintings are thousands of years old, and it's our ancestors talking to us, telling us stories. There's one near Bon Echo, and it's a painting of a bear, and you can see the little bear tracks. And the teaching, or the story that was told hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, still resonates today. And that teaching is, even though the bear is large and big, it walks through the forest very carefully. So the bear is teaching us that, we have to live sustainably. So, I think we connect that way. Artists will connect to people who view the art and try to communicate ideas. I think a lot of Indigenous artists are trying to communicate to their audience that we need to live sustainably. We need to love Mother Earth. We need to respect the animals, the land, and the birds and the fish. And that's what I try to communicate through my artwork. I also try to communicate to the Algonquin community, or to the Indigenous communities, these ideas. But just as important, I'm trying to communicate to people that travel to Ottawa, people in Ottawa, students, teachers, educators, Indigenous knowledge, that some of that knowledge is that we learn from the land, that we respect the land. We have a set of values, like the seven grandfather teachings, like trust and love. And those teachings and that respect for the land, that connectedness to the land that we all have, is what makes us humans. Sometimes we're disconnected from that. There's a lot of things that disconnect us from the land, but I think we're pulled to the land in various ways by just going outside, walking. That's one way the land connects with us. I live in Ottawa. Walk over to the Rideau River. I feel connected there, or even to the canal. So it connects us through art to one another and to the land. So I talked a little bit about animals in art and why is it important to me. And so sometimes the artwork is as direct as I do these little bears. And when my daughter Emily was young, I was holding her on my lap, and I looked down top of her head, and I saw this little bear head, and that inspired me to do this bear artwork. And I've done a similar image over the years in various styles and approaches. So that's one way that we connect to the land. I was out fishing with my dad one day, and we thought we saw a bear coming down the side of a hill. And my dad said, the bear teaches us a lot of things. And one of the things the bear teaches us, if a bear cuts itself and it starts bleeding, it'll go to a pine tree. You know that little pitch that you find or sap that you find on the pine tree. You put the bear will put it on its cut, and it will it's a disinfectant, and it'll heal the cut. So we learn a lot from animals. Another story is of otters. When years ago, the bear got this council together of all the animals, and the bear said, "We have to teach humans a few of our teachings." And the otter said, "I'm going to teach humans how to unity, how to get along with each other, and they're going to learn how to do these things by observing me, by observing my gentle manner, my way of communicating with other animals." And I've heard these stories about beavers and otters sleeping in the same den in the winter. But also, we learned from the otter. If you look at the otter tail in the sand as it moves through the sand, you see this double line going up and down, up and down. And what that teaches us is that relationships, those two lines, a relationship isn't steady and always the same. Our relationships with one another go up and down. And so the otter is teaching us that a relationship isn't always the same. It's always changing. So I think a lot of you may have pets in your home. Pets give us comfort, friendship. And so we learn a lot from animals just about friendship and what it takes to be a good friend. And I think cats and dogs will listen to you if you talk to them, but they also don't give you advice or say you should do things this way or that way. So we have a lot to learn from animals. You know, the other thing is I'm thinking about the image of the Canada goose that you all painted. And the Canada goose, to me, is really interesting. I walk along the canal near Dow's Lake, and I see geese throughout the year. You know, that when they go south in the fall and when they come back in the spring. But the geese form these beautiful V shapes, and our elders tell us that they're teaching us that everybody can be a leader. When you see the geese fly, one of the geese will go to the front. It'll become the leader for a moment, and then another goose will take its place, and it will become a leader. So we learned that cooperation and collaboration is critical to being human. Some scientists went, I don't know how they did this, but they figured out that geese can fly 30% further by using this V shape. Of course, they by forming the V shape, the goose in front cuts down the wind, and the goose behind it has an easier job of flying. The other story that I know about these geese is a Nanabush story, and many of you have heard these stories. You may have even heard this one. So Nanabush loved to eat geese. So Nanabush decides he's going to eat a bunch of geese, a lot of geese. He's going to gorge on these geese. So he takes a string and ties it on the legs of these geese that are sitting in the water. And the geese are going, "Do you feel anything on your legs?" And They go, yeah. And one of the geese said, I bet you it's that nanabush. He's tried to uh, trap us and he'll eat us. So that what they decided to do was to fly up. And I don't know if you've ever seen geese flying up off the water, but because they're big, it's not easy for them to lift off the water. They paddle their feet and wings. They beat the wings against the water to get that lift. Anyway, so Nanabush is holding on to this string, and the geese fly up, and that's the first time they form the V. But of course, Nanabush, being the trickster and a bit of a goof off, he didn't tie a proper knot, and the knot breaks loose on the first goose. The knot breaks loose on the second goose. Anyway, so after 4 or 5 geese and the seventh goose, the knot loosens up, and Nanabush falls back to the earth into the water without any geese. So you could draw your own conclusions from that story. So we got another question, and it's about my daughters. So it says, we hear your daughters are artists. What type of art do they do? And have I done any art with them? So I've got 5 daughters. I dare say that they are all good at art. I have one son who's good at art also, but 3 of them have taken on art more professionally and more seriously. I've got a daughter that's a medical doctor, which is an art, and I've got another daughter who's a video editor in Toronto. But the other 3 daughters, Emily went to Western University, did an arts degree there. She's very busy as an artist. Claire, another daughter, has done video. She's done animation. She does paintings, murals. And my other daughter, Mari, is also an artist and has done graphic art, visual arts, murals. But together, we've also done art. Like, for example, at PBC Station, I've done birch bark biting imagery on the windows of the station. You can look it up on the internet at PBC Station. You'll see these beautifully graphic, sort of frosted-looking images of birch bark cutouts. The other thing we did was we did a what I call the Algonquin Cadoo, and it's 100 paddles painted by 100 different Algonquin artists from the region, and the ages of the artists range from age 6 to over 80, and of course 3 of my daughters painted paddle. Emily did this beautiful moon, and the story of the moon is my father, when he was living, told my daughter, "Oh, look at the moon, and you'll see a rabbit in it." And so that's what she painted. It's a theme that she's used a few times. And then my other daughter, Claire, did a medicinal plant because she's got asthma, and she used painted a plant of traditional medicine that's good for asthma, and she did it in her favorite colors, which was a purple color theme. And then my other daughter, Mari, did a paddle, which is kind of a geographic image of Algonquin territory and water and land. And again, it's very beautiful. But each one of them tell their own story, and it relates back to ancestral knowledge, to place. And my three granddaughters participated in the paddle painting workshop that we did here in Ottawa, and each of them painted a beautiful paddle. And so I would encourage you to go on my website, simonbrascoupe.com, and you can connect to the Pimisi Station Algonquin Cadoo website, and you'll see there all the paddles, and you can click on each of the paddles, and there'll be the name of the artist, the title of their artwork, and the theme of the artwork that they painted. So, so I'm very proud of my family, and I should say that we have Algonquin artists throughout the region that are wonderful artists that connect it with ancestral knowledge, stories, and you should take a look at that website. You'll see how many artists there are. So somebody's asking about will I be doing another workshop? I'm doing a workshop next Thursday at 1:00. You can check on the Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival website, and I'm doing one on summer birds. So it's a stencil technique which is using an Algonquin design technique. And well, you'll learn more about it, but you can check on it on the Summer Solstice website. You'll find it. So when you finish your pieces, you can post them to #SSIF 2001. So, like I said, I will look forward to seeing your artwork. And 2021, I'll repeat it. #SSIF 2021. So thanks for taking time out of your day. And like I said, I'm looking forward to looking at your artwork. If you're interested in the artwork that I did, just email the Summer Solstice and say I'm interested in putting my name in the hat, and I'll draw your name out of the hat for the artwork, and I'll mail it to you. So that's it. Good evening. I'm glad you participated in this, and enjoy the rest of the festival. Good evening. Miigwech.